Hello friends, good morning. My name is Akash Sanjay Kubragade. I am a coordinator at Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge and PhD scholar at Delhi University. Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge is founded by Professor Dr. Leela Karunyakara sir, and his idea behind this institution to provide an academic space to professors, doctors, and social scientists who are engaged in the field of Dalit studies. Today, Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge going to have its 47th of lecture, and this lecture is a part of a series that we started on the occasion of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's Jayanti. Today, Professor Karunyakara sir going to chair and going to speak on the for today's lecture. So I take an pleasure to welcome and introduce him. I welcome Professor Dr. Leela Karunyakara sir. Dr. Professor Leela Karunyakara sir is the founder of Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge and former Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi Antarashtriya Hindu Vishwavidyalaya. He is the author of books like Dalit History of Dalit Identity and Modernization of Buddhism. After completing his MPhil PhD from JNU New Delhi, he joined as an assistant professor at Dr. Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar Central University, Lucknow. In Professor Karunyakara sir introduced Dalit history course in MA history program, and he also introduced Dalit student organization at Mahatma Gandhi Antarashtriya Hindi Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Central University, Lucknow. Also in 2006, he also started SC Association at Babasaheb Ambedkar Central University, Lucknow. Professor Dr. Leela Karunyakara sir continuously engaged in academic lectures and also writing and speaking for the Dalit community. I welcome Professor Dr. Leela Karunyakara sir for today's lecture. Professor Dr. Leela Karunyakara sir going to speak on Annihilation of Caste, Section 7 and Part 8 of for today's lecture. So I request him to please start his lecture.
Welcome to all of you. We are discussing Annihilation of Caste, an undelivered lecture by the Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar. It was published by himself in 1936, and the third print we could find in 1944. So that has been included in the Ambedkar's writings and speeches. In the volume 1, we could see Babasaheb Ambedkar's that undelivered speech as a booklet, as a part of the volume 1, that's Annihilation of Caste. This Annihilation of Caste has many sections. It is having almost what could I say? Total, yeah, it's yes. It's in the volume 1, Annihilation of Caste. Ambedkar included Gandhi's reply also to the book Annihilation of Caste. The total, it is a 26 sections. Annihilation of Caste is just a speech. However, it is having 26. It's a very long speech, unfortunately undelivered, but it got it published. It's a 26 sections it has. And Ambedkar included in the fourth reprint, Ambedkar included Mahatma Gandhi's reply as an appendix. Now, we have been discussing each section in every part of a lecture. The first part of a lecture, I discussed the prologue, which Ambedkar himself written to his booklet, that is Annihilation of Caste. In the prologue, Ambedkar was very clear that he did not want to be part of any movement, even if it is an anti-caste movement. He did not want to be a part of that movement led by non-Dalits. What do you want to say that? He wanted to say that Dalits should not be part of any movement, even if it is against the caste, even if it is anti-caste movement, Dalit should not be part of it. If that movement, anti-caste movement or any movement led by non-Dalits, what Ambedkar wanted to give a message was that leadership should be in the hands of Dalits. Platform should be under the control of Dalits. The mic should be in the hands of Dalits. Very interestingly, very unfortunately, and very much interestingly, Dalits, what they do, they collect money from the Dalits. They give their money, their energy, their time, everything to organize a meeting to discuss about the Dalit lives, Dalit issues. And the audience also, the majority of audience also Dalits only. Organizers are Dalits only. Platform is under the control of Dalits only. Everything under Dalits, but the mic they give to non-Dalits, particularly to the Brahmins. They invite someone to the platform, Dalit meeting, and ask that non-Dalit to give a lecture on about the Dalits. How ridiculous it is. You are calling someone who is not a Dalit, and majority of Dalits, they are putting their own money, energy, everything, and calling someone who is not a Dalit, who never had an experience of Dalits, neither organic experience nor theoretical experience also. He might have not read thoroughly Ambedkar. Even then, Dalits commit such a big blunder. It's not a mistake. It's a blunder they are committing for many years. For many years, they are committing the blunder that they invite non-Dalit to deliver a lecture about the Dalits, about Ambedkar, about Pule, about Buddha, about Dalit lives. So Ambedkar very categorically stated that he didn't want to be part of any movement led by non-Dalits. What does it mean? Nowadays, what happening? Dalits are organizing their own movement. Dalits are collecting money from their own people. And majority of people who are coming to the meetings also Dalits only. But non-Dalits come to the stage and give a lecture about Dalits, about Ambedkar. Logically, it is not, it's an illogical thing. Why this idea is not occurred to the Dalit leadership? Why this blunder is being committed for again and again, every year? Look at the Ambedkar Jayanti recently, what happened. You might have invited non-Dalits to give a lecture about the Dalits, about Ambedkar. How ridiculous it is. Why the organic Dalit leadership not being recognized by the Dalit society? Why Dalit society is desperate to invite non-Dalits? Why they want validation? As long as Dalits are waiting for the validation of non-Dalits. Today, Dalits are trying to get the validation of non-Dalits for their very own existence. Look at the term Dalit. Dalit term is such a beautiful term in Hebrew language, and it's very proudly people keep their Dalit as their first name. But look at in India what happening. Whole Dalit communities, trying to get the validation from the non-Dalits for their own identity. How ridiculous. How humiliating this is. So Dalit intellectual capital needs to build by their own people, organic Dalit leadership, to have a clarity about organic Dalit culture. So Ambedkar was very categorically stated that he didn't want to be part of. As a rule, he said, as a rule, I'm quoting Ambedkar, as a rule, I do not like to take any part in a movement which is carried on by the caste Hindus. Here caste Hindus means general caste Hindus. the so-called upper caste. Here he means to say that caste Hindus means the oppressors. So in the section 1, section 2, section 1 is about just an introduction. Section 2, Ambedkar was talking about whether social power is important or political power important. Yes, Ambedkar said that political power is very stronger, but how do you get the political power? Even to get the political power, you need the first and primary thing is first you have to get social power. Without social power, you can't get the political power. I am repeating again and again the crux of the what we discussed, what I talked about in every section deliberately, so that even if a person watches this single video, even if a person attends this single lecture, he could have some idea about what Ambedkar said in each section. Every section, the lecture was about more than 1.5 hours, 1.5 hours. But in every lecture, I am trying to give a gist of each section. So Ambedkar said that without social power, without social movement, first, if any Dalit thinks that he wants to become politically powerful, the first thing a Dalit has to do is that he must be socially powerful. Then only he will become politically powerful. How he can become socially powerful? By leading social reform movement. Without social reform movement, strong, powerful political movement cannot be established. Whatever the political fruits we had so far, it's because our forefathers organized social reform movements. Because of that only, political fruits, political empowerment we got in recent times, which thoroughly I discussed in that lecture. So if anybody wants to know more about this, how the social reform is more important than the political reform, they could visit part 2 of the lecture, section 2, on which we have discussed political. In the third section, that is the fourth part of the lecture, or third part of the lecture, Ambedkar was talking about whether the political economic reform important or social reform. Communists, the Marxists says that no, you have to have money, you have to have a rich, then only that will solve all your problems. Of course, money, economic power, that resolves many problems, but not all the problems. The question is not that whether the economic power is important or not. Even to get the economic power, Ambedkar wants to say that even to get the economic power, Ambedkar never denied that economic power should not be there. Ambedkar always said that economic empowerment is very much required. Of course, Dalit community should become a billionaires. Dalit community should become a millionaires and billionaires. There's no doubt in it. It doesn't, but how to become economically powerful? Ambedkar says again that as long as you have a unequal social order, you cannot become economically powerful. So Ambedkar clearly states that you need to have a social reform movement even to get a strong economic empowerment. So political power very attractive, economic power very attractive. So that what happened? Dalits are directly jumping into the political activities, directly jumping into the economic activities without rectifying, without questioning the existing unequal social order. That is a caste system. So Ambedkar says that put your energies first, because it's a necessity to change the social system, even to get the political power, even to get the academic power. So Ambedkar insists that even if you are having a political activity, economic activity, but you must give most importance to the social activity. Means social capital you create. For social activity, you need to create social capital. So social capital generates political capital. Social capital generates economic capital. The source of political capital, the source of economic capital is social capital. That's what Ambedkar wants to say in the section 3 of the Annihilation of Caste. Section 4, he discussed that, of course, in labor, the workers in Europe, all over the world, are equal. There are only two classes in European society, rich and poor. have and have-nots, owners and workers, one who own the industries and one who don't have anything, laborers. Ambedkar says that the system is devised in Europe for division of labor. But in India, it's not the division of labor, it's more than that. It is a division of laborers. Caste system, a Brahmin laborer and Dalit laborer never going to be a equal worker because they have a caste system. So communism is a failed concept in India. It's a totally, utterly failed concept. Communism, Marxism. Marxism is a totally failed concept. That's why Marxists left their Marxist model of economic theory. They are talking about, they take up only, you look at the leftist narratives for so many years, for past 30, 40 years. When the Ambedkar movement became very stronger, since the left it's a Marxist narrative. They are picking only the Muslim narrative. One M is replaced by another M. You see, why they are picking up the Muslim narrative? That's what Ambedkar said. Gandhi did the same thing. Same Gandhian strategy Marxists adopted in India. When Ambedkar was questioning the Dalit issues, Gandhi started using the Muslim issues. That's why Ambedkar wanted Pakistan to be created. Ambedkar deliberately wanted Pakistan to be created. Why? Because at least the Muslim population will migrate to the Pakistan, so that Muslim majority will come down in India. Then Dalit issue could come up. Dalit issue could be discussed in the mainstream discussions. As long as Muslim issue is there, then that's why the secular, liberal, left-oriented politicians, journalists, media people, intellectuals, their only agenda is not about Marx also, because they know Marx can't be fitted to the Indian society. They pick up only Muslim issues. I don't say that they should not pick up the Muslim issues, but they pick up only Muslim issues, not the Dalit issues. Why? Why Gandhi did the same thing and Indian Marxists are doing the same thing? Why? Because to dilute or to not to provide space for the Dalit issues. That is the reason why Marxists deliberately avoided Ambedkar, branded Ambedkar as a bourgeois, and never took up the caste issue and misguided the Dalits. In other way, Gandhi and Indian Marxists have close relationship as a strategy to build Muslim interest-based narratives only to sideline or ignore Dalit issues-based narratives. That's why Ambedkar said that for the Dalits, the most important thing is that to give importance to social movement, social capital. What does mean social capital? Social includes cultural. So Ambedkar wanted to say that socio-cultural movement is most important. Look at the RSS. What RSS is talking about? It talks about cultural nation. It talks about Brahmin cultural nation. Though it says that Hindu cultural nation, but from Ambedkar perspective, there is no Hindu identity. In fact, Ambedkar says that Hindu identity is a myth. If that is the case, then why RSS is talking about the Hindu cultural nation? So in other words, Ambedkar wanted to say that since Hindu identity is a myth, Hindu society is a myth, when RSS talks about the Brahmin culture, Hindu cultural nation, it's nothing but Brahmin cultural nation. Today, look at that. Since for 100 years, RSS was talking about the Brahmin cultural nation in the name of Hindu cultural nation. Today, it got academic power. Today, it got political power. So Ambedkar is right. If Dalits also do the same thing, if Dalits also want to do same socio-cultural, if Dalits also produce socio-cultural capital, then Dalits also could easily become politically and economically very powerful. So without focusing on the socio-cultural capital, without focusing on the creation of, production of socio-cultural capital, Dalits are going to fail to get political power as well as economic power. Whatever we got it, we are losing. Today the situation is that Dalits are politically nowhere, economically nowhere. Reservations are coming to end. Reservations are only namesake on the paper. No government jobs. Reservation is basically meant for the government jobs. Without cutting, see, government jobs are the source of reservation. Cut the government job, reservation will become a dry tree. Tree is there. Suppose inside, under the ground, you have cut all the roots. One day what will happen? Tree will become dry and fell down. Reservation tree is there. Underground, the roots, tree roots are government jobs. Now government jobs are being cut down. What will happen to the reservation tree? It will get slowly dried up. The tree gets dried up and one day it will fall down. That's what happening. It means we are not going to have any economic power also in future. We are not going to have any political power also in future. Why it's happening? Why the Ambedkar given fruits of reservation we unable to translate into more stronger political and economic power? Why? Only 1 or 2 generations enjoyed the fruits of reservation in terms of political and economic power. But present generation finding very difficulty to get a government job. In other words, the future, the Dalit community future to become a politically powerful and economically powerful, it's very dim. It's a grave situation. Why? Why, though the Dalit society able to emerge into a middle class due to the reservations, due to the government jobs, today the future is very bleak. Why? Because we unable to translate, Dalit society unable to translate whatever the fruits in terms of economic and political fruits which Dalit society got through reservations and government jobs, unable to translate these fruits, unable to translate whatever the economic and political power we got all these years, we are unable to translate into more powerful political power, more powerful economic power. We are unable to translate because we ignored the social capital. We ignored the cultural capital. We ignored to reconstruct the Dalit society. Instead, we allowed the Dalit society to become more of a casteist society. Today, Chamars are proud of Chamar identity. Today, Mahars are proud of Mahar identity. Mala, Madiga, they are proud of their own caste identities. This is actually, it's not a revolution. It's a counter-revolution. The Dalit middle class unable to acquire a social capital, cultural capital, focused more on the political capital and economic capital. Because of these reasons, what happened? Today, Dalit society not having the failure to have a solid Dalit identity, Dalit community. It's all because of there is lack of socio-cultural movement, socio-cultural absence of socio-cultural capital. So if we want to do anything for the future generations, if Dalit, the present day Dalit community want to lay down very strong foundation for the future Dalit society, what present day Dalit community has to do, it has to lay down more stronger social foundation, cultural foundation of the society. Look, there are many non-Dalits are there in this conference, in this lecture. What I'm trying to say that don't feel differently when I'm focusing only on Dalits. If there is a Adivasi, there is a Dr. Kiran Adivasi is there, or Dr. Naresh Kumar Sahu Shudra is there. So what I'm trying to say that Adivasis and Shudras, wherever I'm talking about Dalit, you have to put your own identity. That's it. When I say that Dalit social capital, Dalit cultural capital is very important. Being Adivasi, Dr. Kiran Adivasi could replace the Dalit word with the Adivasi word. You will get the total theory, what I'm talking about. If Naresh Sahu Shudra, if he replace the Dalit word, Dalit identity with a Shudra identity, Naresh Kumar Sahu being a Shudra, he will get what I'm talking, the theory about empowerment. So be it a Dalit, be it a Adivasi, be it a Shudra, be it any community, the source of economic empowerment, the source of political empowerment is a social capital. So division of laborers, the Marxism is failed in India because in India, the caste divides even the workers, even the laborers. So Brahmin laborer cannot unite with the Dalit laborer. The Shudra laborer cannot unite with the Brahmin laborer. Adivasi laborer cannot unite with the Shudra laborer. So there is a caste division among them. So Karl Marx says that all the workers unite. But in India, all the workers can't unite. The very basis of Marxism is gone, failed, because of the caste system. Indian Marxists deliberately ignored this fact and started picking up only Muslim interests just to replace the Dalit interests with the Muslim interest narrative. They could have accommodated both. They say, Marxist says that they don't believe in God, but they're very happy to accept whatever the Muslims want to say. At the same time, Dalit says that Ambedkar is a bourgeois. There is no caste. Caste is secondary. How ridicule! How illogical! So Indian Marxists are, they are also castes. Indian Marxists are castes. Try to understand this. So now we are next fifth, section 5. Here Ambedkar discussed about the caste as a race, which we have talked already. Then section 6, the last lecture, Ambedkar discussed on identity. He talked about identity. Hindu identity is a myth, he said, Ambedkar said. Where I gave my lecture, I gave my theory about Dalit race. Within the Dalit race, there are many castes. That caste should be annihilated. Because Ambedkar Ambedkar wrote Annihilation of Caste in 1936 when Ambedkar was not having an idea of fitting Hindu religion. So Ambedkar wanted to reform Hindu religion. Ambedkar wanted to annihilate the caste within the Hindu society. But Ambedkar left Hinduism in 1956. 36 he wrote Annihilation of Caste. 46, 56, after 20 years later, Ambedkar left Hinduism. So what is the agenda today for Ambedkarites? What should be the agenda of Ambedkarites? Particularly for Ambedkar Dalits. Not to reform Hindu religion, not to reform Hindu society. Because Ambedkar left long back Hindu society, Hindu religion. Dalits, Ambedkar and Dalits should annihilate caste where? Not in Hindu society, within the Dalit society. Ambedkar, the agenda before, see, if you want to read Annihilation of Caste, you have to read Annihilation of Caste within the context. First, to understand, you have to read Annihilation of Caste as it is, in original way, what Ambedkar aimed. But when you read second time, you have to contextualize Annihilation of Caste within the Dalit context. unless we apply annihilation of caste within the Dalit context, we can't reconstruct a Dalit society. A vibrant, dynamic, powerful Dalit society can't be reconstructed without the application of thoughts of Ambedkar expressed in the Annihilation of Caste text. What I'm trying to do in my lectures is not that simply reading out Ambedkar only. I'm trying to put Ambedkar's thoughts in the context of Ambedkar, Dalit society. So now coming to the seventh, today's lecture. The title is Anti-Social Spirit. The title of this section 7 of the Annihilation of Caste is Anti-Social Spirit. Akash, you could start displaying my PPT presentation. So today's lecture is about how Ambedkar looked at the caste as an anti-social spirit. Caste creates anti-social spirit. Caste cannot create a society. Caste has only one character, that is, it divides continuously. So caste is anti-social. How? Could anybody read it? What Ambedkar said, could anyone read it?
Yes, sir. Anti-social spirit is the worst feature of their own caste system.
Yeah. Their own caste system. He is not saying that his own caste system or our own caste system. Ambedkar said their own caste system. Who are they? They are means he is referring to the caste Hindus. Mainly he is referring to the Brahmins. Ambedkar never used the term upper caste. Try to understand. Many Ambedkarites use the term upper caste. Very unfortunate this is. Ambedkar always used the term caste Hindu. Caste Hindu means he is referring to the general caste. He is referring to the Brahmin, Kshatriya and Vaishya communities. So when Ambedkar says that anti-social spirit is the worst feature of their own caste system. So today many people say, look at the second one. Read the second line. One caste
enjoys.
Carry on.
One caste enjoys singing a hymn of hate against another caste.
Listen, why caste is anti-social? Why? How caste creates an anti-social spirit? It creates anti-social spirit because caste makes one caste person to enjoy the pains of another caste. Look at Ambedkar what he said. One caste enjoys singing the hymn of hate against another caste. Means one caste enjoys the pains and agony of the another caste. So as long as caste is there in Indian society, today caste is there in Indian society. It is born in Hindu society, but it is spread to Christian society. It spread to Muslim society. It spread to Sikh society. It spread to Buddhist society. It spread to total whole Hindu society. By converting to the Christian religion, you cannot destroy the caste. By converting to the Buddhist religion, you cannot destroy the caste. If you want to convert to the Buddhist religion, Christian religion, or any religion for the sake of religious, spiritual happiness, that is a personal choice. But if you are converting any other religion with the intention to destroy the caste, with intention to the annihilation of caste, then you are wrong. Because it is proved. Indian history has proved that even after conversion to any religion, Indian carry his caste. Even if Indian goes to America, even in America, an Indian become a Christian in America. Even then, he cannot destroy a caste. He can carry a caste. So caste is everywhere. Caste is among the Indian Christians. Caste is there among the Indian Buddhists. Caste is there among the Indian Sikhs. Caste is there among the, of course, Hindus it is there. Caste is there among the Indian Muslims. So caste is there everywhere. Why? And the worst feature of the caste. Listen, in this section, Ambedkar want to highlight that the worst feature of the caste. The worst feature of the caste. What is the worst feature of caste? Anybody could tell me? The worst feature of the caste is anti-social spirit. You will become, if you believe in your caste, you believe the same. Look at the same thing, let us apply in the Dalit race. Within the Dalit society, if Chamar has a caste spirit, then Chamar will become more happy if Pasi is having some pain, some atrocity, some agony. And Pasi will become more happy if Chamar having some agony, some pain, some atrocity on them. Because caste make like that. If Mahar has a caste consciousness, then Mahar will develop anti-social spirit. Anti-social spirit means not supporting other caste people, enjoying the pains of other caste people. If Chamars are there in a difficult situation, Matans are in a difficult situation, Mahar could be feeling happy and enjoying or ignoring. I am not nothing to do with what is going with the Chambars. I am nothing to do with what is going with the Matan. This kind of anti-social spirit Mahars will develop when the Mahars have Mahar caste consciousness. Same is case with the Matan, same is case with the Chambars, same is case with the anyone. Why I'm talking about Chambar and Mahar? Because they are the more vocal communities who are visible communities in the Dalit society. That's why I'm taking those two names. But if you could contextualize what I'm talking with every caste. So caste consciousness develops anti-social spirit. Next. Next. Anybody could read it? Dr.
Yes,
Kiran is there? Yeah, please carry on.
Ready. The literature of the Hindus is full of caste genealogies in which an attempt made to give a novel origin to one caste and an ignoble origin to other caste.
Yes. See, if you look at the Hindu Shastras, the Hindu stories, Hindu scriptures, the Ambedkar says that in Hindu scriptures, obviously written by the Brahmins. So in the Hindu scriptures, you will find that Brahmin caste has a very noble origin, means very good origin, very prideful origin, whereas no other caste having the ignoble origin, very lowly origin. Look at the Dalit and Shudra identities. See, though Dalit word is nowhere in the Hindu Shastras. Dalit word we don't find Dalit word in anywhere in the Sanskrit literature. Still, some people propagate that Dalit is a Sanskrit word. Very unfortunate. There is no example at all. Some people propagate that Hindu is a Sanskrit word. Hindu is not a Sanskrit word. Hindu word, you don't find a word Hindu in any Sanskrit literature. Same is the case with the Dalit. Dalit word you don't find in any Sanskrit literature. Hindu is an Arabic word. It's an Arabic Persian word. Dalit is a Hebrew word. But very unfortunately, there is a misnomer and very, very misguiding narrative build up that Hindu is a Sanskrit word, Dalit is a Sanskrit word. No, neither Hindu is a Sanskrit word nor Dalit is a Sanskrit word. Hindi is an Arabic and Persian word, and Dalit is a Hebrew word. Hindu is an Arabic word, Dalit is a Hebrew word. Now what happened? Though Dalit word you don't find anywhere in Hindu Shastras, Hindu Sanskrit literature, but it is a propagated that Dalit means low, Dalit means split, Dalit means broken, according to Sanskrit language. They say like that. It's a misguiding. It's a misguiding. It's not a true. It's not totally true. During British time, one Britisher wrote a Marathi dictionary in which he wrote Dalit word and he has given the meaning that low born, split, that thing, because already Dalit meaning was polluted by the non-Dalits among the people. So that the writer of the dictionary, he picked up the whatever people are believing, the meaning of Dalit, that he wrote in the dictionary. It's not because of that is there in the Sanskrit, he wrote it. It's the people believed that Dalit means broken or split. Then he put it in the Marathi dictionary. Since then, people thought that Marathi meaning of Dalit means broken. It's not like that. The dictionary was written at one particular point of time. So the writer of the dictionary, the author of the dictionary picked the meaning of Dalit from the people who already, the Dalits are already made to believe that Dalit means broken or split. That's why that man, who wrote the Marathi dictionary, he used that meaning for the word Dalit in his dictionary. So we need to understand critically these things. Throughout the history, non-Dalits tried, particularly the Brahmins tried to give very bad, low-level origin to the non-Brahmins. That's what Ambedkar very clearly states here. See, look at what Ambedkar said. The literature of the Hindus is full of caste genealogies, which caste, how it born, in which an attempt is made to give a noble origin to one caste and an ignoble origin to other castes. Why should I accept? Why should I accept the genealogies written by the Brahmins, claiming themselves as a great and treating the Dalits as a low? Why should I accept? I should not. That's how critical thinking should be. So Shudras, look at the Shudras. Shudras means slave. They propagated. But Professor Kanchalaya proudly claimed himself Shudra. That's what we have to do. We have to rewrite our own history. We should not believe in the history written by non-Dalits. Dalits should write their own history. Dalits should write their own genealogy. That's why I said that Dalit term is a Hebrew term, not a Sanskrit term. And Dalit is a community name. They came from Middle East country to the India. They migrated. Dalits migrated from the Middle East, Asia to India. So for more information about this, people could read my book, History of Dalit Identity. And I'm going to write Dalit history also. So next. Next slide, please, Akash. Yes, Ambedkar. Anybody could read? See, Ambedkar is giving example where this Hindu genealogies, the worst example of where Brahmins claims their origin very great, other caste origins very low. Not only about Dalits, Brahmins are talking about Kshatriyas also very low origin. Vaishyas also low origin. Shudras also low origin. Only Brahmins with a high origin. The worst example is Sahyadri Kand. Could anyone read it?
The Sahyadri Kand is a notorious instance of this class of literature.
Yes, Ambedkar said that this class of literature means writing that Hindu genealogies, giving the noble origin to the Brahmins, ignoble origin to the others. The worst example is Sahyadri Kand. It's very notorious. If you read the Sahyadri Kand, you could understand that how horribly they have projected others. So how, as long as this kind of literature exists, as long as caste exists, how could India would be united? How could Indians to be united? That's what the Ambedkar main question. So to make India great, to make India a very powerful country, first thing is that Indian society needs to destroy the caste. But Dalit's issue is, Dalit agenda is to destroy caste within its own Dalit race. Dalit is not a caste identity. Dalit is a racial identity. Yes, next. Ambedkar. Akash, could you read?
These anti-social spirit is not confined to caste only. It has
Caste
gone
alone.
deeper. Caste alone. It has gone deeper and has poisoned the mutual relation of the sub-caste as well.
Look at the subcaste. Now Ambedkar is writing within the context of Hindu society. He is writing actually within the Brahmin society, even among the Brahmins, suppose Brahmin is a race, there are many castes. Chaton Brahmins are there, Karade Brahmins are there, Deshastha Brahmins are there, Ayers are there, Iyengars there in the Tamil Nadu. Look at these people. Chaton Brahmin never have any emotional relation with Ayer Brahmin in Tamil Nadu. I forget about Chaturn Brahmana, Maharashtra, Ayer Brahmana, Tamil Nadu. Even Ayer, Iyengar, these are the two castes within the Brahmin race in Tamil Nadu. They don't see each other. They fight with each other. They don't like, they fight with each other because of the anti-social spirit created by the caste. So caste is not only hurdle to non-Brahmins, it is a hurdle to Brahmins also. So let the Brahmins destroy, let the Brahmins annihilate the caste within their own Brahmin race. It's not the business of Dalits. It's not the duty of the Dalits to annihilate the caste in the society. It is the duty of the Dalits to annihilate the caste within the Dalit society. It's not the duty of the Dalits to annihilate the caste within the Brahmin society or within the Shudra society, within the Adivasi society. Let them do it. Today, nowadays, no, Dalits are having fashionable identity, Bhojan, and directly they involve in the annihilating the caste among the Shudras. It is not the duty of the Dalits to annihilate the caste within the Shudra community. Let the Shudra community annihilate the caste within the Shudras. Because of the Bhojan identity, Dalits are trying to bring annihilation of the caste. Trying to annihilate the caste within the Shudra race, within the Adivasi race, in the name of the Bhojan. No, that's not the Dalit duty. Adivasi, it is the Adivasi to decide whether they want to go with the caste or not. Let the Adivasi leadership decide. If they want to annihilate the caste, let them annihilate the caste and become one single unit, one single race, Adivasi race. Let the Gond, Varwan, Santal, these identities, let it be annihilated. Let them become the one Adivasi community. Let the Yadav, Kurmi, Sahu, Teli, this kind of backward caste, that Shudra community, Shudra caste. Let the Shudra leadership decide. Let the Shudra leadership decide to whether to annihilate the caste within their Shudra race or not. So Dalits are more emotional and misguided by its unnecessary narratives. Dalits should focus, Dalits should give priority to annihilate the caste within the Dalit race. Then there would be no anti-social spirit between the Chamars and Mahars. There will be no anti-social spirit between the Mala and Madhika. Today, look at the Mala and Madhika. Mala and Madhika in Andhra Pradesh, they fight with each other like anything. Why it is so? Because caste create anti-social spirit. Because of the anti-social spirit, Mala Madhikas are fighting in South India like enemies. So this Mala Madhikas, Dalits in South India should work to annihilate the caste, Mala Madhika identities, to annihilate the Mala Madhika identities within the Dalit race. So Dalit should be proud of being a Dalit, not proud of being a Mala or Madhika, not proud of being a Chamar or Mahar, not proud of being a Bangi or any other Parya or Pallan. See, this anti-social spirit is not confined to caste alone. It has gone deeper and has poisoned the mutual relations of the subcaste. Now, subcaste, the worst example is the Mahar itself. Look at the Mahars. Mahars, it's a colloquially claimed that 12 and a half castes or subcastes are there within the Mahar caste. Within the Mahar caste, it is said that 12 and a half subcastes. I don't know how this 12 and a half. Look at them. Each subcaste fight with another subcaste within the Mahar. Outside they look, Mahar is united, but it's not the case. When you go to the ground level, Mahars subcaste fight with each other like enemies. Which subcaste should be the leader in the Buddha Vihar? Though Buddha Vihar is there, Mahar, Vada, you may find the Buddha Vihar. But who should be? Somavamshi should dominate the Buddha Vihar? Or any other There are many subcastes. 12 subcastes are there. Akash Kobragade, which subcaste do you belong?
Sir, sorry, I don't know.
You don't know any subcaste name? You tell me for my sake of my discussion. One is Somvanshi, other one
Kosre or Bhavan, something like that.
Bhavan, Kosri and Bhavan. Yes, Akash is very Brahmins used to say, where is the caste? There is no caste. Like that, Akash also very easily said that I don't know the subcaste. That's not the truth. That's not the truth. The truth is that everybody knows that there is caste and subcaste. But our intention is that if you don't know your subcaste, know it. Why? Because you have to annihilate the subcaste. If you don't know the subcaste, you know it, then only you can annihilate the caste. Without knowing the evil, how can you fight against the evil? Caste is an evil, subcaste is an evil. We must know that which subcaste we belong, which caste is belong. One thing you remember, not all the castes having the subcaste. Not all the castes. Chitpavan Brahmins not having the subcaste. Deshastha Brahmins having the subcaste. So what we have to say, to annihilate the caste, I already said in my last lecture, we need to be proud of being a Dalits. First step is that directly we can't go to the Dalit. So first step is that let us call ourselves if a Mahar is there, Mahar Dalit. Chamar is there, Chamar Dalit. Mala Dalit, Madgala Dalit. At least we will overcome the subcaste. Then we will identify slowly, gradually with our own Dalit race. So subcaste create anti-social spirit. The worst example is Mahar caste. Within the Mahar caste, there are 12 subcastes, and those 12 subcastes fight with each other like anything because of the anti-social spirit created by the caste. And the worst example of how the anti-social spirit operate between the caste, Mala and Madhika fight in Andhra Pradesh. Iyer Iyengar fight within the Brahmin race in Tamil Nadu. It's not, see, that's what anti-social spirit created by the caste is not only for the Dalits, not only within the Shudras, it is also within the Brahmin race. This anti-social spirit, it means what? No caste, no race is beyond the anti-social spirit. Everyone, being an Indian, everyone is suffering. Everyone is facing this anti-social spirit because of the caste system. Between the caste, between the Brahmins and non-Brahmins. Next one, Ambedkar is talking about the non-Brahmins and Brahmins and non-Brahmins. Next one. Next slide, please. Yeah, caste creates, this is not Ambedkar's statement, this is my own statement. Caste creates anti-social spirit to protect the interest of one's own caste against another. Hence, caste can't create a society of many castes. Even caste can't create society of many castes. That's a problem. That's a problem. Caste creates anti-social spirit, means social spirit means community. Anti-social spirit means no community. Next. Yeah. Anybody could read? Kiran.
Yes, sir. The Brahmin's primary concern is to protect his interest against those of the non-Brahmins, and the non-Brahmins' primary concern is to protect their interest against those of the Brahmins.
Yeah. See, look, the caste anti-social spirit within the Brahmin community, within the Brahmin race, Iyer Iyengar fight. Deshastha and Iyer Iyengar fight. These are the two castes. Iyer and Iyengar are the two castes within the Brahmin race in Tamil Nadu. They fight with each other because of the anti-social spirit created by the caste. Not only that, within the Iyer Iyengar there are subcastes. They fight with each other because of the anti-social spirit created by the caste. Same is the case with the Dalits also. So, within the Chamar, Pasi, these are the between the caste anti-social spirit. Mahar, Man, Chambar, the anti-social spirit is between them. But within the subcaste, within the Mahar, 12 subcastes are there. They fight with each other because of the, again, anti-social spirit created by the caste. Now, Ambedkar is very clearly states in this statement that the Brahmins' primary concern is to protect his interest against those of the non-Brahmins. Look at the racial level. Brahmin race, because of the caste system, even the Brahmin race at racial level also there is a caste consciousness. Brahmins fight against the non-Brahmins, and non-Brahmins fight against the Brahmins. This is what everybody wants to protect their own interests. This is what the caste. So caste has no positive benefit. Caste has no positive contribution. Caste has only one character, that is to divide, and to divide. That's it. Next. Akash. Yeah, read.
The Hindus, therefore, are not merely a assortment of caste.
Assortment means collection. Assortment of caste. Yeah, read. Read once again. Start from the beginning. You read.
The Hindus, therefore, are not merely an assortment of castes, but they are so many warring groups, means fighting with each other. Warring groups, each living for itself and for its self-ideal.
Selfish ideal. Say, look at that, what Ambedkar says. Ambedkar very clearly says that because of the caste system, even you cannot build a Hindu society. That's what Ambedkar said in his earlier sections. So here when we apply that thing, Ambedkar very clearly states here that the Hindus therefore are not merely an assortment of castes. They are not only collection of the caste. See, even if it's the collection of caste, at least you can build a society based on the caste. But caste cannot even build a society based on the caste. That's a problem. Caste has only one thing, it divides. It doesn't know anything, it divides, keep on dividing. Because it creates anti-social spirit. Society is a social. Without having a social spirit, you can't have a society. But caste is such a thing that anti-social spirit it creates. Because of that, what happened? Hindu society, it can't create. It can't create even collection of society of the collection of caste. Only for the namesake, we could say that it's a collection of caste. Hindu society is a collection of caste, we could say, for the namesake. But it is actually a varying groups. They fight with each other always. Like India, Pakistan is always trying to fight with each other. The same way, every caste want to fight with each other. Because caste create always enmity between two castes. Enmity between two subcastes also. Like what's happening with the Mahars. What's happening with the Ayers and Iyengars in Tamil Nadu. Brahmins. So this anti-social spirit not restricted only to the Dalits or Shudras. It is also there within the Brahmins. Brahmins fight against the non-Brahmins, and within the Brahmins, Chatpavan Brahmins fight against the Deshastha Brahmins, Iyer Brahmins fight against the Iyengar Brahmins, and within the Iyengar's caste, there are subcastes, they fight with each other. So same is the case with the Dalit race. Dalit race fighting against the Brahmin race, and Brahmin race fighting against the Dalit race. And within the Dalit race, Chamar fighting against the Mahars fighting against the Chamars. And within the Mahars, one Mahar is fighting, subcaste of Mahar fighting against the Bhavana fighting against the what is that? What is that? What you said? Which subcaste you said? Bhavane fighting against the another. What is the other subcaste?
Somanshi.
Somanshi, some other subcaste also you said. Kosre. Yeah, Kosre. So Bhavane fighting against the Kosre fighting against the Bhavane or Somanshi. So it is I am not saying it's a smilingly we are talking, but when you go to the society, go to the field, you can experience very severely affecting, like a social cancer. It is affecting the society. It's a fact. So where is the root cause? It's a caste is the root cause. Caste consciousness is the root cause. And where they are fighting, look at the Buddha Vihar. Buddha Vihar, Mars became a Buddha Vihar, Buddhist. Within the Buddha Vihar, who wants to dominate the Buddha Vihar? Kosare want to dominate the Buddha Vihar, or Bhavane want to dominate the Buddha Vihar? Why every time only Bhavane people are president of the Buddha Vihar? Why Kosare people are why Somanchi is greater than the others? These are all common things happening. I did my research, visiting the fields, talking to the people among the Mahars. I am taking as a case study of Mahars today in my lecture. It doesn't mean only it's happening with the Mahar. It's happening with everyone, including the Brahmins. No, what I'm trying to say, why I say Buddha Vihar, why I'm quoting, even after converting to Buddha Vihar, even after conversion to Buddha Dhamma, caste and caste consciousness cannot be destroyed. It can be diluted. Why? Because Buddhism doesn't support the caste. Buddhism indeed fight against the caste. That's why caste consciousness can be diluted, but totally cannot be replaced. Why? Because Buddhist identity, Buddhist consciousness is a religious one and caste is a social one. You need to replace a caste consciousness, means a social consciousness, by a race consciousness, means social consciousness. A social consciousness can be replaced by another social consciousness. A socialist identity can be replaced by another identity. You can't replace a social identity by religious identity. Buddhist identity is a religious identity. Christian identity is a religious identity. Because of this reason, in South India, many Dalits are, even after converting to Christianity, they are facing the caste issues, caste discrimination within the church and within the Christian society. Why? Because they are trying to replace Christian identity, a religious identity, with a caste identity, and they failed it. Today, Buddhists also feeling it. Why? Because the religious identity can be replaced by another religious identity. Hindu religious identity can be replaced by Christian religious identity or Buddhist religious identity. Yeah, Christian identity or Buddhist religious identity can be replaced by Hindu identity, because both of them are religious identities. But you can replace caste identity, Mahar identity, only with the Dalit identity, because that's a social identity. So caste can be destroyed by the race, not by the religion. That is the Professor Karunyakara thesis. Next. Yeah. Could anyone read? Naresh, how is there? Naresh, why can't you read? Read it. Where is he?
The present day non-Brahman cannot forgive the present day Brahman for the insult their
Insult
their
ancestors.
Give the Shivali.
Yes. See what Ambedkar saying. The present day, Ambedkar wanted to say that once Indians read their own history, they're never going to forgive what Brahmins have done to them. Look at that, what Ambedkar says in the first sentence. The present day non-Brahmins. Non-Brahmins means he is talking about Marathas and many others, Shudras. He is saying that the present day non-Brahmins cannot forgive the present day Brahmins for the insult their ancestors gave to Shivaji. When Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj wanted to become a king, he asked the Brahmins to do coronation ceremony, to make him a king, to conduct a coronation ceremony. But Brahmins refused. Brahmins said that, no, you are not a Kshatriya, we don't want to do it. Because of that, Shivaji invited a Brahmin from Uttar Pradesh and gave lots of gifts and lots of dakshina, lot of money. Then only that Uttar Pradesh Brahmin did it. Maharashtra Brahmins refused to make the Shivaji as a king. Because Maharashtra Brahmins belong to Peshwas. They wanted Peshwa rule. That's why they refused Shivaji to become to make a Shivaji as a king. So Ambedkar says that though it happened long back, though the present day Brahmin ancestors of the present day Brahmins did it, even then, if non-Brahmins, the Shudras, if they read the real history, then they're never going to forget what the ancestors of the present day Brahmins did it. So that's what the meaning of Ambedkar. The present day non-Brahmins cannot forgive the present day Brahmins for the insult their ancestors gave to Shivaji. Yes, the second one. Read. So
the present day caste will not forgive the present day Brahmin for the infamy cast upon their forefathers by the forefathers of the letters.
yes, that's it. What Ambedkar said rightly. The present day caste, there he discussed about the Brahmins. How the Brahmins are non-Brahmins. Non-Brahmins are never going to forgive the Brahmins because of the what happened to what the Brahmins did to the Shivaji, the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. But here, in the second statement, Ambedkar said about the Kayasthas. Kayasthas, even the Brahmins hated the Kayasthas. Brahmins didn't allow the Kayasthas to become the powerful community. And Kayasthas always competed with the Brahmins in the field of the knowledge, acquiring the knowledge. That's why Ambedkar said, the present day Kayasthas will not forgive the present day Brahmins for the infamy cast upon their forefathers by the forefathers of the later, because Brahmins in their own writings always accused the Kayasthas. They spread wrong things about the Kayasthas in the Brahmin literature. That's why Ambedkar said the present day Kayasthas will never forgive the present day Brahmins what the ancestors of the Brahmins have done to the Kayasthas. Why Ambedkar said that? Because of the caste system, because of the existence of the caste. If Indians read their own history, they're never going to forget the Brahmins, what they did to the Indians, the non-Brahmin Indians. That's what Ambedkar wanted to say. That is the reason why the history is mostly misinterpreted by the many people. They don't want to give clear. That's why this so-called Hindutva people, they always talk about the middle history. They never talk about the ancient history. In the ancient history, we'll find all these things. With regard to the Chhatrapati Shivaji, we must know that what happened to him when he asked the Maharashtra Brahmins to conduct a coronation ceremony to make him as a king. But Maharashtra Brahmins refused the Shivaji Maharaj to become a king. The same is the case with the Kayasthas, how the Brahmins defamed the Kayasthas in the ancient period, in their literature. So these things, Ambedkar said that history is most important to understand how caste created anti-social spirit. So at the end, the message of this lecture, section 7 of Annihilation of Caste, is that caste is nothing but anti-social spirit. As long as you believe in caste, you cannot empower yourself. You think that because of the caste, you are united with your own caste people. No, even your own caste people will kill you, destroy you, because caste create jealousy. Caste never create a social togetherness. Caste always create a jealous kind of feelings. Caste create division between the two individuals belong to different castes, different subcastes. This is the lecture today. Thank you very much. Jai Bhim, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir, for providing for a very wonderful lecture, section 7 of Annihilation of Caste. We move toward the question answer sessions. So those who want to ask a question, please go ahead. Please ask a question related to today's topic only.
सर एक प्रश्न मेरा है सर.
Yeah, sure. Carry on.
सर जो दलित रेस सर इजराइल से सेंट्रल इंडिया से इंडिया आया तो सर अभी वर्तमान में
no, not from Central India. It came from Middle East Asia.
हाँ सर इजराइल से एक तरह सर. तो सर वर्तमान में वहाँ जो अभी वहाँ उसका रेस जो होंगे वहाँ तो उसको क्या बोल रहे हैं सर इजराइल में?
Jews, Yehudi.
Okay sir.
Next.
Thank you so much.
So please go ahead for next question. Those who want to ask it. So I think there is no question.
Yes, go for the vote of thanks.
I'm going to conclude for today's lecture. I really thank Professor Dr. Leela Karunyakara sir for delivering a very important section, that is section 7 of Annihilation of Caste, which we are continuously discussing from last 6 lectures. And the rest of the parts sections are going to be discussed by KIDK only and by Professor Karunyakara sir. So I really thank him for engaging with such an important text written by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. I also thank the participant who continuously been a part of KIDK and taking part in Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge activities. I also thank the coordinator of Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge. I really thank Sukeshni Thorat, Dr. Sukeshni Thorat, Dr. Smita Bhagat, Dr. Darshana Mishra, Mr. Shreyat, Mr. Vijay Kumre, and Shashikant Bharti, who are really doing great work for Karunyakara Institute of Dalit Knowledge to making these lectures continue and and reachable to everyone. Thank you. So with this word, I like to thank everyone, and I request those who not subscribe our YouTube channel. So please go and subscribe Dalit Knowledge YouTube channel. And those who missed anything from today's lecture or who want to check our earlier lectures, please go and check our YouTube channel, that is Dalit Knowledge YouTube channel. With these words, I conclude. I say thank you. We will going to meet on next Saturday with the next section of Annihilation of Caste. Bye bye. Take care. You all.